The premise: Erik, a native of Gothenburg, Sweden's second largest city and a hub of industrial heritage, grew up in a socio-economic environment that, while stable, fostered a sense of restrained ambition. The Swedish concept of lagom, often translated as just enough, permeated his upbringing. While this philosophy promotes balance and social harmony, Erik perceived it as a subtle constraint, a cultural ceiling that stifled the pursuit of extraordinary achievement. He observed the established industries, the steady pace of life, and felt a profound disconnect between this measured existence and the burgeoning technological revolution he saw unfolding globally. Gothenburg, though known for its maritime history and Volvo's presence, was also experiencing a quiet digital transformation. The city's universities, particularly Chalmers University of Technology, were producing a steady stream of skilled engineers and programmers. Erik, a self-taught coder with a natural aptitude for algorithms and machine learning, found himself drawn to the potential of artificial intelligence. He saw beyond the surface-level applications, recognizing AI's capacity to fundamentally restructure how information is processed and disseminated. He became particularly fascinated by the limitations of traditional educational models. He observed the rigid, one-size-fits-all approach that often left students struggling to grasp complex concepts. He noticed the disparity between those who thrived in conventional classrooms and those who were left behind, their individual learning styles ignored. Research on cognitive science and educational psychology, particularly the work of Benjamin Bloom and Howard Gardner, reinforced his belief that personalized learning was the key to unlocking human potential. Erik's vision for Synapse was not merely a software application. It was an intelligent ecosystem designed to adapt to the unique cognitive profiles of each learner. He aimed to build a system that could analyze a student's learning patterns, identify their strengths and weaknesses, and dynamically adjust the curriculum to optimize their understanding. He intended to incorporate principles of adaptive learning, utilizing AI algorithms to identify knowledge gaps, adjust the pace of instruction, and provide targeted feedback. He understood the potential of AI to analyze massive datasets of educational content, identifying patterns and correlations that human educators could not. He envisioned Synapse, Sweden, as a platform that could personalize learning pathways, offer interactive simulations, and provide real-time feedback, creating a truly immersive and engaging learning experience. He saw a product that would not simply present information, but facilitate genuine understanding. The potential for such a product within the Swedish educational system, and then beyond, was immense. Despite its relatively small population, has a strong emphasis on education and a high level of digital literacy. The country's investment in technology infrastructure and its openness to innovation created fertile ground for a platform like Synapse. Erik's ambition was not just to create a successful company, but to revolutionize education, to empower individuals to learn more effectively, and to break free from the limitations of traditional educational paradigms. Erik's journey towards real life was not a smooth ascent. It was a grueling climb marked by relentless effort and significant obstacles. The initial phase was characterized by a cold reception from traditional Swedish investment firms. These institutions, often risk-averse, found Erik's vision, his projections, and his sheer drive to be outside the established norms. They saw his ambition as a deviation from the culturally ingrained lagom principle, a trait they considered imprudent. The Swedish venture capital landscape, while growing, still favored established industries and incremental innovation. Erik's pitch, focused on disrupting the educational sector with a complex AI-driven platform, was deemed as speculative. Investors voiced concerns about the long development cycle, the inherent risks associated with AI, and the difficulty of penetrating the established educational market. They questioned the scalability of his model and expressed reservations about the regulatory hurdles that lay ahead. Navigating the labyrinthine structure of EU regulations proved to be a significant challenge. The General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR), while designed to protect user privacy, imposed stringent requirements on data collection and processing, especially concerning sensitive information like student learning data. He faced the complexities of cross-border data transfer, the need for robust data security measures, and the intricacies of obtaining necessary certifications. His living situation reflected the intensity of his commitment. Erik converted his small apartment in a Gothenburg suburb into a makeshift development hub. Long nights, fueled by copious amounts of low-cost coffee, became the norm. He sacrificed personal comfort and social engagements to dedicate every available moment to coding, debugging, and refining his AI algorithms. The pressure to deliver a functional prototype, coupled with the constant financial strain, created a high-stress environment. The development of Synapse was not without its technical setbacks. Early versions of the AI exhibited significant flaws. The adaptive learning algorithms, while theoretically sound, struggled to accurately interpret student learning patterns. The system's ability to provide personalized feedback was inconsistent, and the user interface proved to be clunky and unintuitive. Erik and his small, dedicated team faced the daunting task of identifying and rectifying these errors. Debugging complex AI systems required meticulous analysis and iterative testing. They had to refine the machine learning models, adjust the parameters of the algorithms, and redesign the user interface to improve usability. The process was time-consuming and frustrating, requiring them to constantly adapt and learn from their mistakes. The challenges went beyond technical issues. Erik also struggled with the psychological toll of entrepreneurship. The constant pressure, the uncertainty, and the fear of failure weighed heavily on him. He had to learn to manage his stress, maintain his focus, and keep his team motivated despite the setbacks. This period was not only about building a product, it was about building resilience, developing problem-solving skills, and learning to navigate the turbulent waters of the startup world. When Erik strategically tapped into Sweden's burgeoning network of angel investors and tech hubs, things began to shift. Unlike the traditional venture capital firms, these individual investors, often successful entrepreneurs themselves, possessed a greater appetite for disruptive innovation. They were drawn to Erik's passion, his profound understanding of AI, and the potential societal impact of Synapse. Sweden, despite its modest population, has cultivated a vibrant ecosystem for startups, particularly in Stockholm and Gothenburg. Initiatives like Sting Accelerator and Chalmers Ventures played a crucial role in connecting entrepreneurs with potential investors and providing mentorship. Erik attended networking events, pitched his vision at tech conferences, and meticulously built relationships with individuals who shared his belief in the transformative power of personalized learning. He focused on articulating the long-term gains and the potential for a large market share. He presented detailed financial projections, demonstrating the scalability of Synapse and its potential to generate significant revenue. He highlighted the growing global demand for personalized education, driven by the increasing accessibility of technology, the need to equip individuals with the skills necessary to thrive in the digital age. He emphasized the unique capabilities of his AI-driven platform, its ability to adapt to individual learning styles, and its potential to improve educational outcomes. Eventually, his persistence paid off. A group of angel investors, impressed by his technical expertise and his clear vision, provided the crucial seed funding that allowed him to scale his operations. This influx of capital enabled him to hire a small but highly skilled team of developers, data scientists, and educational specialists. He carefully selected individuals who shared his drive and commitment, creating a culture of intense collaboration and shared purpose. Erik understood that building a successful AI platform required a diverse range of expertise. He recruited individuals with backgrounds in machine learning, natural language processing, cognitive science, and user experience design. He fostered a collaborative environment where ideas were freely exchanged and challenges were tackled collectively. The team worked tirelessly, refining the AI algorithms, developing the user interface, and creating engaging educational content. Recognizing the importance of real-world testing, Erik focused on securing pilot programs with progressive schools in Sweden. He understood that feedback from educators and students was essential for refining the platform and validating its effectiveness. He approached schools that were known for their innovative approaches to education, highlighting the potential of Synapse to improve student engagement and personalized learning. He offered schools a free trial of the platform, providing them with comprehensive training and support. He collected detailed data on student performance, teacher feedback, and platform usage. He used this data to identify areas for improvement, refine the AI algorithms, and optimize the user experience. The feedback from the schools was invaluable, providing insights into the strengths and weaknesses of Synapse and guiding the development of future iterations. The early contracts with progressive schools provided not only valuable data but also social proof. They demonstrated the practical application of Synapse and its ability to deliver tangible results. These early successes were crucial in building credibility and attracting further investment. They signaled that Erik's vision was not just a theoretical concept, but a viable solution to the challenges of modern education. The launch of Synapse marked a significant shift in the educational technology landscape. Its AI-powered, personalized learning approach resonated with educators and students seeking alternatives to traditional teaching methods. The platform's ability to adapt to individual learning styles, providing tailored content and real-time feedback, generated considerable interest within the educational community. Early adopters reported improved student engagement and measurable gains in academic performance. Word of mouth spread, and Synapse began to attract attention from larger educational institutions and government agencies. Erik's marketing strategy played a crucial role in accelerating the company's growth. He adopted a bold, assertive approach, challenging the status quo and positioning Synapse as a disruptive force in the education sector. He leveraged social media, online forums, and industry conferences to generate buzz and create a sense of urgency. His tactics, while effective, sometimes drew criticism for being overly aggressive. He did not shy away from pointing out the flaws in traditional systems, and was very vocal about the abilities of his product. This created a level of controversy, but also a large amount of attention. He recognized the global demand for personalized learning, driven by factors such as increasing digital literacy, the need for lifelong learning, and the growing recognition of individual learning differences. He targeted international markets, adapting Synapse to different languages and cultural contexts. The platform's scalability allowed for rapid expansion, and partnerships with international distributors facilitated its entry into new regions. The company's rapid growth attracted the attention of major venture capital firms. Impressed by Synapse's market traction, its innovative technology, and its strong leadership team, these firms invested substantial capital, enabling Erik to further scale the company's operations. This influx of funding allowed him to expand his team, invest in research and development, and accelerate the platform's international expansion. Erik used this funding to hire top talent, including AI specialists, software engineers, and educational content creators. He established research and development labs to explore new applications of AI in education, focusing on areas such as virtual reality, augmented reality, and adaptive assessment. He also invested heavily in marketing and sales, building a global brand and establishing strategic partnerships with educational institutions and technology providers. Synapse expanded its product offerings, adding features such as collaborative learning tools, personalized career guidance, and adaptive language learning modules. The platform became a comprehensive learning ecosystem, catering to a diverse range of learners and educational needs. The company's exponential growth transformed it from a promising startup into a major player in the global education technology market. This rise was not just about financial success. It was about transforming the way people learn, empowering individuals to reach their full potential, and creating a future where education is truly personalized and accessible to all. Erik's narrative is a study in calculated risk, a deliberate departure from the cautious approach often associated with his cultural background. He consistently bet on himself, a trait essential for any entrepreneur challenging established systems. He questioned accepted practices within the education sector, and challenged the limits of what his team, and himself, were capable of. This characteristic, a form of radical self-reliance, became a defining element of his leadership. His actions demonstrate the hustle mentality, a relentless pursuit of goals that transcends traditional work-life boundaries. He adopted a high-intensity approach, demanding substantial commitment from himself and his team. This involved long hours, rapid iteration, and a willingness to operate in a state of constant flux. The hustle was not merely about working hard. It was about working strategically, prioritizing efficiency, and maximizing output in a compressed time frame. He understood that in the competitive tech landscape, speed and agility were paramount. The story of Synapse is inherently tied to the high-risk, high-reward dynamics of venture-backed startups. The early stages were characterized by a precarious financial situation, where the company's survival depended on securing funding and achieving rapid market penetration. The development of AI-driven technology involved significant upfront investment and a high degree of technical uncertainty. The educational market, while large, presented significant barriers to entry, including established competitors, regulatory hurdles, and the need to build trust with educators and institutions. The pressure to deliver results was immense. Erik and his team operated under the constant threat of failure, knowing that a single misstep could jeopardize the entire venture. This high-stakes environment created a climate of intense stress, but also fostered a sense of urgency and determination. The pressure to perform fueled their innovation, driving them to find creative solutions and push the boundaries of what was possible. The pursuit of rapid growth involved significant financial risks. Erik's decision to aggressively expand into international markets, for example, required substantial capital investment and involved navigating complex regulatory environments. The company's reliance on venture capital funding meant that it was subject to the demands of investors, who expected high returns on their investments. The stress associated with high-growth startups is well documented. The constant pressure to meet deadlines, secure funding, and maintain market share can take a toll on the mental and physical health of entrepreneurs and their teams. Erik's story illustrates the psychological challenges of navigating this high-pressure environment. He had to learn to manage stress, maintain his focus, and make critical decisions under immense pressure. The potential rewards, however, were equally significant. The successful scaling of Synapse resulted in substantial financial gains, both for Erik and his investors. More importantly, it had the potential to transform the education sector, making personalized learning accessible to millions of students worldwide. The story highlights the inherent trade-off between risk and reward, a fundamental principle of entrepreneurship. It is the story of someone who was willing to bet everything for the chance to gain everything.